Hi everyone, I'm Nev,
I'm Cady.
and we're the Ladies of Leisure. And this week, well, not this week, this 10 minutes, we're going to talk about flying while pregnant because I've had to do that twice now. Once when I was a little less pregnant, once when I was more pregnant.
But also, I think it's important to say the length of your travel.
Oh, the length of, oh my God, yes.
It wasn't just like, let's like take a stop at Florida.
Yeah. This was like going to Sri Lanka. So this was like,
How long's the flight?
it was, so it's 2 legs. First one was, on the way there, it was like about 15 hours. The first leg was like 11 and a half. Second leg was like 4 hours. And then on the way back, it was closer to like, my gosh, what was it? Maybe like 18 hours?
Wow. So
Yeah.
I think the hardest part for that I could imagine is like when I fly, I have a very specific strategy.
What's your strategy? Because I have no strategy when I fly.
Cocktails and food.
Oh my God, yes. I used to have that strategy. I forgot.
Cocktails, food, and then like I just sleep and watch movies.
Yeah. Actually, that used to be my strategy,
Yeah.
and this time around, food was definitely a factor.
But like, here's the
No
thing.
cocktails, though.
Here's the thing, though. It's like food on the plane is disgusting usually.
Yeah, so I brought a lot of
So you brought
snacks.
Okay.
I mean, the food was okay. It was different than normally because we're going to like Asia, so it was like more like it actually like on the way there was Indian food. On the second leg, because I guess it's considered a shorter one, they gave you like a sandwich. But I brought snacks because I'm like usually hungry now.
Yeah.
But so I told my doctor and I was like, is it okay to fly? Because it was
Yeah.
about 5 months.
Yeah.
And
That's a long flight for
being pregnant, yeah. And she was like, yes. So she just told me to get compression socks, drink a lot of water, and like get up constantly.
Did the compression socks help?
I think I mean, I don't know, but
I've
it's
never
like,
worn compression socks.
they definitely felt tight on my legs, but they,
Why do you wear these?
so you don't get blood clots. So like, cause like blood goes to your legs and like you might get a blood clot while flying.
But wouldn't that like stop the blood from flying?
Well, yeah, it's supposed to like, so basically like, because your legs get compressed, it like moves the blood around.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've never worn compression socks.
Also, compression socks are expensive. These were like $50 socks.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like so surprised, but again, I was leaving in like 2 hours. So I'm like, fuck it, I need to
What
get
else
these
do they
socks.
do other than move that blood around?
That is it, as far as I've found.
Are they warm?
No, I wore socks over them. I wore like
What?
wool socks over them. I didn't think they were worn.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah. So like I was a little nervous. I knew I was going to be fine, but I was like, am I going to be able to like move around and like, am I going to be comfortable? And like, what I usually like to do is like, I kind of like slouch down in the seat and put my legs up on the other one, like my knees on the other chair in front of me. And I can sit like that for like a few hours while flying and it's comfortable.
Well, I'm sure the people in front of you love you.
Well, I don't really move around. It's not like I move my legs. But
It's like when you have a child behind you, you're like,
yes, that's the worst. And they're like hitting your seat.
I remember the first time I flew with my with a child, my roommate was like, make sure he doesn't kick the seats. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, every time you're behind a kid, you're in front of a kid,
yeah.
they kick the seats. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I've experienced that.
And
It
I
is
experienced
annoying.
it once on my own. And like, yeah.
It actually kind of sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a parent, don't let your kids kick the seats.
Yeah, but if you're an adult, you can put your legs up. Just don't kick the seat.
So do you like cradle up?
Yeah, I kind of like put them. I kind of slouch. I put my legs up like that, and I can sit. But now because I started, like I had a little bit of a belly, I was like, "Fuck, I can't sit like that. What am I gonna do?" So I'm just like trying to stretch out, and like you do feel like some tension, and it's like I'm trying to like move around and adjust myself, and luckily like we had the seat, like we bought the seat in between us.
So you had a little extra
So
space.
I had like a little extra space. So that definitely helped. Having food really helped. And like the fact that it was a long flight, it was a bigger plane, so it's like there's more room to like get
Were
up
you
and
able to
walk
sleep?
around. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I actually slept a lot,
That's
which
good.
really helped too.
I see. I always think of like flying as like a great excuse to sleep.
If you can sleep, yeah.
Like I feel like it's like you feel so guilty sleeping in like real life because you're like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be calling this person, talking to this person, or like doing this, like working.
Yeah, like
The best part about flying is that like you're like, I'm here. It's all I can do.
I always want to sleep on flights, but then I'm like, but there's also movies to watch, so I always end up watching
Oh,
movies.
I like that you like
Yeah.
the movies. It's like some people are like, oh, I watched it on the plane. It sucked.
I mean, I love watching movies on a plane, at least before when like the movies would come out in theater.
Yeah,
and I would watch it on the plane. I'm like, this is perfect. And a lot of times if it's a stupid movie, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't have to go to the movie theater for this.
I forgot about that when you'd have like the more current movies on the plane. And it was like
that was like a treat.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I get to see this new movie.
There's like no good movies out anymore though.
Like this time around going to Sri Lanka, I watched.
Yeah, what'd you watch?
I watched a few movies I don't remember, but the one thing that I loved watching was the second season of The Gilded Age because I hadn't watched it.
I haven't watched that. I need to get into it.
Yeah, so I watched the full second season. I was like, great, I can binge.
Oh, see if you have a good binge.
I watched the first episode of The Pit, but it was like very intense. It's like
Brandon watches that.
Yeah, and I'm like eating, and I'm like, I don't know if I can watch this right now. It's like just all blood and gore.
It's really intense, yeah.
And I'm like trying to eat.
It's definitely a show that you could watch like at any like. I don't watch that show, but when he's watching, I'll just sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I watched that one episode, and then I haven't
feel like
done it yet.
That's not a plain show to watch because
No,
it's not interesting enough.
It's
You
not
need to have,
interesting.
like,
It's super intense.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people find it very interesting.
I mean, people love it, but just I think for me, for the plane, it wasn't the right.
Yeah, I don't think
the right
it's like
fit.
the plane.
But the other thing too about flying while pregnant is like my tailbone hurts if I sit too long, and especially if it's not like a couch, if it's like a chair or like a seat, if it's like a little more firm. After sitting there for like an hour, 2 hours, like I feel my tailbone starting to hurt. So I'm like, how do I kind of have to like almost like sit on my side to maneuver so I'm not on it. And that was a little uncomfortable.
Did you feel anxious at all?
Not really.
You're lucky. You're like not an anxious person.
I think I was a little anxious before the flight because I'm like, am I going to be able to do this? Will I be fine? But like once I got on it, I was fine. And I was like, oh, this will be okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like we like get worried about things. It's like you could honestly do almost anything if like you put your mind to it.
Yeah. And I was like, because I also hadn't flown that long ever in my life, I was like, okay, this is the first time I'm doing this like long flight and I'm pregnant.
You've never done...
I've never been to Asia. So I've never done, or like I've never been to Hawaii. So I've never done like a 13, 14 hours straight
Oh my
flight.
God, what a trooper. And you get on pregnant without any alcohol.
Yeah, no alcohol.
Yeah.
Pregnant, no experience flying that far.
I know a lot of people like take like meds like when they're flying, like they'll take something to make them drowsy or like calm them down, but like, you know.
No meds either. I think also, again, because I'm pregnant, I'm more tired, so it was easier for me to just like sleep.
Liquid Purin.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then I just made sure to get up every like hour or two. And also like was so dehydrated, so I was like constantly drinking water, which actually made me constantly get up and go pee. So that was kind of like my little routine.
Wait. Okay, now I have questions. Peeing pregnant in the plane.
It's...
Do you hover?
I always hover. Oh, yeah. I hovered. There's no way I'm sitting down.
what is it like to hover pregnant?
It's a little bit harder.
I imagine like that's
It's definitely a little bit harder because I'm like trying to look down, making sure like I hit the hole and not the seat.
yeah. Is the aim harder?
Yeah, it's a little bit harder. I mean, like
Is it harder on the legs?
it's harder on the legs. Yeah, and like I hold on.
Okay, so you hold the bar and
Oh, I definitely hold the bar. Yeah,
yeah.
like I need to hold it.
Like I don't think anyone should ever put their bare bum
No.
to that prison.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So this more recent time when I flew, which is like to Jamaica, so that was like a couple of weeks ago. So my stomach is bigger now, and it's a shorter flight. So it was
That
like,
must have been like
4
nothing
hours.
for you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I can do this. This is easy.
I didn't even think of the bathroom situation.
Yeah, but that was kind of. I shouldn't have drank coffee before I got on the flight and I was like the window seat. My friend was the aisle seat, and unfortunately, there was like someone in the middle. So like, I'm drinking this coffee, and I'm like,
Can you have coffee when you're pregnant?
I was drinking decaf. Technically, you can have like 1 cup a day, but I haven't really been drinking coffee. But I was like, it's a treat. I'm going on vacation. And then I was like,
That's your treat.
That's my treat. And then my mom told me, she's like, oh, you can drink decaf. And I was like, duh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm going to get a decaf iced coffee.
I feel like I would be all about that.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that would be the treat.
Yeah. So the only issue is, though, because I pee often. I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to pee.
So my legs are really long.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time fitting my legs.
In like the seats.
In the bathroom.
Oh, in the
For
bathroom.
the hover.
Oh.
Because my legs are too long. They touch the door.
Oh,
It's
wow.
quite awkward.
So you really do like a serious like squat.
It's like a really it's like a small workout.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you're
It's
like
like
working
I'm
out.
literally like engaging muscles when I do it. Like I'm like pretending I'm like at the gym and like practicing my form of like, okay, keep your knees aligned, 90-degree angle, like don't go over the toes. Like you got this, hold it, 5, 4, 3.
You're in there like
I'm like literally coaching myself.
Oh man.
Like you got this, girl, like show your strength.
You're like, just hold on a little bit longer. That iced coffee is really coming through.
Yeah. But like I imagine then like being pregnant, it's like doing this workout, but with like a beach ball holding on to it.
I'm like, I have to hold on to them. Wait, so can I tell you a sort of embarrassing story this time around?
Always love that.
So like we get on the plane, we're boarding, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go pee before the plane takes off, and we're like in the back, it's like one of the smaller planes. And I go and I pee and I go to flush and I'm like, where is the fucking button to flush? I'm like, I can't find this button. I'm like looking all over.
It's not always obvious.
It was not obvious. And then I'm like, oh my God, what if the toilet doesn't work because the plane isn't moving yet? So like, I know it works. So I've peed before, but like in that moment I panicked. And then then I'm like, okay, I'll figure this out. Let me wash my hands. So I put soap on my hands, and then I can't turn on the sink to like wash. Then I'm like, what is going on? So I wipe my hands.
Oh my God, is it because the plane wasn't moving?
No, it was because of me. So like I wipe my hands off with paper towels, and I'm like, okay, I have to go ask someone. So I opened the door, and there was like the stewardess there.
No.
And so like,
ma'am,
so I come out.
I'm pregnant and an adult. Could you please show me how to use the toilet? I need assistance.
I was literally like, I'm so sorry. I feel so stupid. I was like, but how do I flush the toilet? I was like, I can't find the button.
Did she have to go in there with you?
Yeah, she came in there.
She went in there with you?
And she showed me where it is.
With the pee.
Well, yeah, but she didn't fully come in. She was just like, oh, because it's like under the sink. And it's like this.
It was under the sink.
Yeah, it was like, because usually it's like on the back wall.
Yeah, usually it's like just a big old like boom.
Yeah. And like I saw this button, but like even the image didn't look like a finger pressing. And I was like, what is that? And so I was like, okay, good. Crisis averted. I'm like, the plane is working now. I can wash my hands properly. So I go again to wash my hands. I'm like, it has to be on. And I'm like, where is it? I'm like putting my hands under the sink. Like the water's not turning on. So
I can't believe you made her come in with you.
So then I open the door again because I have to ask her.
Wait, again 2 times.
Because now I can't figure out the sink. And as I'm asking her, I realize like she's starting to make announcements.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she sees me.
She's like, everyone, please sit down and buckle your seats as we're getting ready to take off. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, and where's the sink?
Yeah, and I was like, ma'am, how do I turn the sink on? So as she's making the announcement, she like comes over as she's like still talking and like presses the button. It's like on top of like the actual faucet.
How have you been holding back this conversation? How did this wait for this moment?
And then I was like, oh my God, is this like baby brain or something? Like I felt so stupid.
I mean, I have to say, I give you a lot of credit. Like you could have left it unflushed.
I did not want to. I thought about it, but then she was there, so I was like, I'm gonna ask her, but I didn't want to do that.
And you could have went back and done like a little like hand sanitizer.
Yeah, which again, I would feel so dirty.
It's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's not real. Like
It's not
people
the
think that
same.
like just putting hand sanitizer on your hands cleans it.
Oh no, like you need actual water.
Yeah, especially after you had soaked it up.
Yes.
If you get back to your seat, you just part hand sanitizer on. Now
It's like all yeah. And then
it's like coming.
and then I'm like, what do I do with this now? And then I wanted to say thank you as I was like walking up, but she was still making the announcement, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Get out of here.
I was like, I'm sorry, I'm pregnant.
That's
my
amazing.
excuse now.
Yeah. So I feel like the moral of this story is that like maybe being pregnant isn't so much the difficult part of flying, but maybe figuring out how to use the toilet.
Yes. The toilets can be tricky.
Was the most challenging part.
Yeah, that actually was. The rest of the flight was great. I was like, I got this. Got my snacks.
Pregnant, no big deal.
Yeah.
Flushing the toilet.
Real issue. Make sure that you know how to flush the toilet.
Should we be worried for your child for potty training?
Possibly.
Although I have to say, good hygiene. You wanted to flush the toilet.
I did, and I wanted to wash my hands.
Yeah, so I'm proud of you.
Yeah. But I'm going to say that flying while pregnant means you have baby brain. You forget how to do stuff.
No,
and yeah, I felt real stupid.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, and then I told our friend that I was flying with, like, after we landed, because there was someone in between us, so I couldn't tell her right away. And she was oh my God.
I would have been like, I washed my hands. They're clean. Yeah. Don't worry.
I've got this.
Yeah. I would have been like so proud to tell you and be like, I didn't know how to do it, but I figured it out.
Oh, no, I told everyone after. That was like my big travel story. But I will say, it's not that difficult flying when you're pregnant. You just have to like find ways to maneuver your stomach.
Learn how to flush it down.
Yes. Yeah.
You
have to be prepared because you are going to pee a lot.
Yeah.
So make sure you understand how the toilet works.
Life lessons.
Yes.
From the ladies of leisure.
Yes.
Life is leisurely when you know how to flush the toilet.
Life is great when you know how to flush the toilet. You're like, I'm on top of the world. I got this. I can wash my hands. Like, I'm good.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right.
Till next time.
Till next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye.